Day 26. Be wary of time thieves. I often talk about commitment, showing up day after day for your goals. But let's take a hard look at the sneaky little time thieves that can steal away that precious resource, productive time. In every day's 24-hour cycle, we usually have a small window where we hit peak productivity. Studies say it, and I've felt it firsthand. If you break an hour down, only about 20 minutes of that is spent truly getting something done. And if we're not careful, that peak productivity can shrink down even further until it barely feels like any exists at all. So there's a hidden cost to repetitive tasks that I don't think we realize. Many of us have a habit of duplicating tasks almost unconsciously. We check our email multiple times an hour, for an example, or clean the kitchen counter before we even start cooking when they're already clean, or, rewrite and write the same note on our to-do list over and over again. All these little things seem harmless, but they stack up very fast. Every small repetitive task you take on in the name of preparation or just in case is another hit to the focus and mental energy you need for the real impactful work. I realized that this is the hard way when I found out. I realized this the hard way when I found myself preparing to write more than actual writing. All those preparations kept me from fully diving into the work that mattered. Imagine if you could get all those repetitive tasks done just once a day or even once a week. That's not just efficient. It's a way of honoring the limited minutes you have to reach those 20 solid minutes of productivity in every hour. That single adjustment can lead to a massive boost in your available time and energy. You also have to watch out for the lure of distraction. We can talk about that. They're everywhere. Social media pings, news alerts, unplanned coffee breaks, or even the lure of a quick conversation with someone. Every one of these interruptions makes it harder to reach the focus zone where true productivity happens. And it's tough because some distractions just feel valid. We all want a little break from the intensity of focused work, right? But here's the thing. If that 5-minute distraction becomes 20, you've lost the whole rhythm for that hour. Productivity isn't just about doing tasks. It's about keeping that momentum alive, staying in that zone as long as possible. We need to have realistic expectations of what productive time really is. There's a myth that you can have 8 hours of a productive day, but you'll set yourself up to disappointment if you buy into that concept too hard. Realistic, very few of us can sustain peak productivity all day long. That's why I always argue that we should focus on optimizing those short, high-quality work periods instead of aiming for an entire day of consistent productivity. If I know I only have a small window to reach those peak 20 minutes each hour, I'm more intentional about blocking out any unnecessary noise. And here's where it gets real. If you waste an entire hour or even a couple of these on distractions, what you're really losing is not just the time, but opportunities to reach that peak productivity in the day. By the time you get back to focus, you might already feel mentally drained, no longer operating at your best. Imagine taking 3 hours to reach your 20 minutes of peak productivity. That's a brutal trade-off, isn't it? I mean, we can maximize our productive time by really making it a point. It's about awareness and preparation. Start by, listing out the tasks that matter to you most in your day, the ones that truly move the needle. That's why I start every morning thinking about what the most important thing I need to do today is. You can identify which repetitive actions you can either streamline or eliminate altogether. And when distractions come calling, because they always do, you can really evaluate if they're worth sacrificing your precious productive time. I do that by pushing the distractions to later in the day. The early time is where I focus on getting that productive 20 minutes in. Sometimes we have to get downright stubborn about what we allow into our day if we want to yield the best results. If you're committed to honoring your time, give your energy only to tasks and actions that generally require it. It's a discipline that takes time to master, but each step counts towards a day that is more aligned with your true goals. And that is, after all, what a real commitment looks like, right?